At 7 a.m., I got a call from a tribal member to inform me that one of the youth in the village had committed suicide at 4 a.m. that morning. I was on my way to conduct an initial assessment and conduct an initial face-to-face with an alleged victim of child abuse. And in order to meet federal guidelines and timelines, I had to still continue with the investigation that day. I also knew that there was a funeral being conducted in the village that day at noon for a young woman who had passed away last Thursday in the middle of the night, with alcohol being a contributing factor.
If it hadn't been for an investigation and going out to meet guidelines, that's probably a day we wouldn't choose to go up there. But it just goes to show you that given any circumstances, you've got to go out and be able to do your job and just do the best you can.
It was certainly a very stressful day for everyone involved. It touched everybody in the village, of course. Such tragic events so close together. And every family that we were involved with were closely related to the youth.
Things aren't always going to go as they're planned, and you've got to have good discretion, because a lot of times you're in areas that don't have cell service, and things can happen on an instance, and you need to be able to make a decision right then. Not everybody's going to like your decision, but just knowing that you're keeping children safe is what helps you at the end of the day.
I was looking for a career that would pay well and was in my area, and I felt that I could make a difference in some of the families' lives that I've lived here a long time, and I know a lot of families, and I felt that I could make a difference.
10% is for the clothing.
A lot of things that what you expect in city living conditions aren't necessarily so in the villages. Some of the homes don't have running water. They would probably be abject poverty to some of you living in more urban areas. And they are very sensitive to people coming from a big city. They want to know, are you local? How long have you lived here? Because already they're going, uh-oh, she won't understand. We pack water, we eat wild game, our house isn't as neat. Once they know who you are, they'll let you right in the door. But if they know you from the city, they're fearful. You have to build trust in the community. A lot of our native families talk at a lot slower rate of speech, and always be cognitive of being respectful and let those silences be there. Western cultures talk a lot faster, and be comfortable with the silences, and laugh with them, eat with them, maybe just go have coffee with them. Don't really have any objective, just go visit them. Just call them up and see how it's doing, and you'll be successful. They just want to know that they can trust you. That's all.
This person here has 4 different birth dates, 3 different social security numbers, and about 12 aliases.
One of the things about my job and working in the Mat-Su Valley is you get to drive from Hatcher Pass, this great area, all the way up to Mount McKinley. You get to meet lots of great people, go to great towns. Sometimes in the winter it's not so fun, but it's still beautiful. You just make sure you pack your gear. You got boots, gloves, stuff that can go about 30 below. But on days like this is perfect. I mean, this is a great day in the office. I work in the initial assessment unit in the Mat-Su Valley. It's my job to respond to allegations of abuse and neglect. I'm the first responder. We have different priorities from you need to be there in 24 hours or right now to 3 days. Basically, you gather as much information as you can, and it's your job to roll out and listen to kids, be the first one there to lay eyes on them, make sure the kids are safe.
We work cases, child deaths, burns, scalds, lots of skull fractures on kids, broken bones, overdoses of parents. We kind of see an extreme of a lot of different things. It's not easy.
One of the things that you have to be successful in this job is just the willingness to accept people for who they are, even if it's not up to your standards or what you think is okay. You have to be willing to follow your agency's policies and guidelines that are there for a reason. Take your own bias out. There's a lot of times you'll have to really work on that, work through, I wouldn't live like this, but does that mean this child's unsafe? And the more you're willing to put that behind you, the more you connect with people and they realize you're not judging them, you're not there to put them down, and that's key.
I think it's important if you're going to make connections and be able to be respectful, that you just keep an open mind, and you have to be adventurous because you're constantly on the go. I'm traveling 2 to 3 days a week to villages, constantly just go, 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 and you just never know where you're going to be the next week. So you have to just be flexible and open-minded, and I think if you do those things and you go into it with the right attitude, you develop wonderful relationships with beautiful people who really want to make a difference in their villages. You can identify the people who want to be safe and who want to make changes, and you can work closely with those people and I think have a lot of accomplishments.
And the views, flying out to Anaktubik Pass. I know people who have lived in Alaska their entire life that have not been able to see views like that. So it's the adventure, the excitement is what keeps me going.
Satisfaction is when we have parent and children reunify, go back on a trial home visit, and knowing that everything that we've done to make that family healthy has become a reality. And the look on the children's faces when they actually get to go home with mom and dad. That really feels good.
This job is awesome. I have worked with some of the greatest kids and families in the Mat-Su Valley. Not only that, it changes every day. It gives me a new perspective on different people's way of life. I will learn how to raise animals or little tidbits on different things they do. Gardening tips are good. Moose hunting stories. Families really like to share that stuff. And also you get to just see so many different areas of Alaska that you normally wouldn't be able to see just sitting at a desk all day.